Baruch the Yahweh, Baruch the Yahweh Shai, Baruch the Yahweh, Baruch the Yahweh Shai, Baruch the Yahweh, Baruch the Yahweh Shai. Okay, I wanted to do this quick video going to show that the God of this world is Satan, and basically through science, the belief system that you have within this world is against what's written within the scriptures, within the Bible. Okay, so without much further ado, I'm going to go into a definition. I'm going to show you a few examples to prove to you that these theories, these scientific theories that govern the life within this world, within this society, okay, is nothing but another belief system. See, when you have it to where you have scriptures and order based on something that's unseen, okay, a confidence in a higher power that is not seen, that's known as a faith, or hence a religion, okay? Now, when you go to us, the men at GreatMillStone, that fear a higher power, and we know for the scriptures that the fear is the beginning of knowledge, okay, and returning unto Yahweh Shai in fear, we begin to understand what these scriptures mean and what they're all talking about. Then we can also make a mirror image, if you will, of another faith system, but this time it's not, or a code of belief, as you see within what is one of the definitions here, a code of belief, okay, and the synonyms, a religion, a sect, a denomination, a persuasion, okay? So when you have scientific theories that govern your life, that give you the confidence, your trust, your belief, your credence, your reliance, your dependence on those scientific beliefs, unproven beliefs at that, which I'm going to show you in a second, okay, then you have a faith. That is your faith, okay? What am I trying to say? I'm trying to tell you that the faith that this world has is not faith in God, but rather faith in science. Now, you've got what's known as practical science or empirical science, and then you've got what's known as theoretical science, okay? So, for instance, when you're putting together a phone together, a mobile phone, you have to use what's known as empirical sciences. I believe that's the right word for it. Okay, so 1 + 1 is equal to 2. Okay, you put a wire across the battery, and you put this piece of circuitry in between it. This is what's going to happen. This is what you know is a practical scientific, okay, innovation. Then you have what's known as theoretical sciences, okay? And theoretical sciences is a completely different thing to practical science, okay? With practical science, you're going to take what the Most High has made, okay, and make use out of it, okay? You're going to be a craftsman, okay? So you're going to put some elements together to fulfill a particular agenda. Okay, now where the mistake becomes is when people say theoretical science is the same as these practical sciences. Remember, you can measure how much current goes through a wire. You can do all of these things, okay? You can switch your light switch on and off, and that's a form of science. But when you start talking about how over billions of years ago, everybody was looking like monkeys, and all you have to, and you know, that's unproven, okay? Then you have a belief system that governs the way you think. Now, I did the video yesterday on this dude, Stephen Hawkins, okay? And pretty much what I was going into is that that leads down to what? That leads on to ungodliness, okay? Because when you have a fear of a higher power, or moral conduct of a higher power, and his rule book is the scriptures, then what's going to happen is you're going to have righteousness abound. But when you have a belief code, okay, that is I believe the word is causal, okay, just things just happen, okay, they just from nowhere to somewhere, okay, then you have a natural spirit of rebellion, okay, that's going to come about off that, okay, and that rebellion is going to be rooted in what? In the freedom of doing whatever you want. Okay, because when you have nothingness turning into everythingness, and it was totally random, there's no order to that. So why should you live under order? Okay, so the belief system that these people have based on their theory, okay, is completely ungodly. Okay, so let's define these words here. It says faith, a complete trust or confidence in someone or something. Okay, and then we go down to 2, strong belief in doctrines of religions based on spiritual conviction, of which a lot of these guys, when they come with their mad sciences, that's their spiritual conviction that there is no God, okay, and the world must have began some other way, and they'll go through extensive lengths to try tell you how this world has begun and where we came from, and how that this is just a journey that's unpredictable and unplanned. Okay, that's their spiritual conviction, because the scripture says that there was no man more profane than Esau. Profane meaning out of the temple. Okay, for one morsel of meat, he gave his birthright. So they gave their birthright up, okay, which came from the Most High, and Jacob got that birthright. And look at the state of the earth right now, okay, because they're in power. Now we went off on the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. That hence the reason why we went into slavery, okay. But now they're in power. Look what they've done with the earth, okay. And it goes on to say here, synonyms: religion, okay, church, sect, denomination, a persuasion, a religious persuasion, religious belief, a code of belief, ideology, okay, creed, teaching, dogma, doctrine. These are all things that could be applied to these scientific theories, okay. Now I went and I did a word search on faith and theory, and then this is where it got me too. And I'm just gonna read some excerpts from here. It says faith is often described as a belief without evidence. Okay, when we go into these things here, over here, these sciences. Okay, it's 10 scientific laws and theories you should really know. Okay, now this is laws, so some of these are not necessarily theories, but you got the Big Bang Theory. You just had a point of nothingness that just turned into everythingness at the point of just high, concentration, and it just ever expanded into everything. The word, really what they should call it is a Big Bang belief, because the theory and belief is really like close words. Okay, what else do they have on here? Let's go to next. I'm gonna have to leave the internet on so I can click next. I usually like doing these videos in under flight mode, so you don't get the distraction. Okay, you got some expansion thing, but really this. Okay, so they mix it up there. They do have some stuff in there that is actual, science. Like laws of thermodynamics and buoyancy, and that's actual real stuff. But I was hoping that they would have some goodies in it. But I suppose that I suppose the Big Bang Theory is as good as any. Okay, because that's one of the major beliefs that they have out here. Another thing that comes into the mind, right, is the theory of evolution. Okay, that they have out here, okay, of evolution, okay, of evolution, okay, and this is you can see monkey turns into man, man goes into working on a computer somewhere, okay, and this is not what the scripture says had happened. And hence the reason why I was going into that. That's really the belief system of this world. This is their religion. Okay, they worship their sciences. But like I told you, like there's 2 different things that I play here. You got practical sciences that you could put, like just practical applications you could do with metal. Okay, gold. You could use gold to do certain things. You could use iron to do certain things. And then you also got the extreme version of that, saying that like string theory. You could have it to where you put one piece of iron next to another piece of iron, it could turn into a fish. These are their belief systems. Okay, that's what they believe. But when you go back into the scriptures, the world was not so. For instance, the world that we're living in is not billions of years old. It's rather a couple of thousand years old. Okay, I believe it's about 12,000 years old. Following what someone had said in the past, but it's certainly not billions years old. Okay, you know that there was a biblical flood. Okay, but through their scientists, they don't go into proving these things. But when you go into the different deposits, because when the water moves over the earth, it's gonna drop. It's gonna drop what it's holding. Okay, you got fish dying in the sea, and the whole world is covered in water. What's gonna happen? You're gonna have it to where those dead fish is gonna end up at some point in the ground, isn't it? Okay, so dig on and find the fish. These are easy, practical things to do that prove that that there was a biblical flood. Okay. But again, because this is their belief system, this is what they worship, this is what they want to push out there, they have you believing in their doctrine, in their faith. Okay, so I'm just going to read this and then I'll call it quits on that. So it says, so where did I want to, I think I wanted to read from about, okay, faith is approximately equal to theory. It says, perhaps my favorite theory, and these theories are not all mutually exclusive, is that many pre-modern thinkers did not distinguish between faith and theory. And that's all I wanted to really read. Okay, it's not clear that Gnostic Christians and philosophers or alchemists were able to make the distinction. Okay, so like I said before, when you had these so-called thinkers, okay, they weren't making a distinction between theory and faith. Okay, this is their belief system. But us here, the men of the Lord, we got a different belief system that's based within the scriptures. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna say, all praise unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honesty, apostles, a great millstone. Okay, all honesty, brothers, that be pushing this truth and sincerity. Shalom.